Man, this year we're gonna have so many great LPs to do. So many good games are coming out. Like, for example, we're doing Gravity Rush and Apollo Justice right now, and those games are fantastic. Oh, I didn't forget about you, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. You're gonna be an awesome LP, and I can't wait to see how Ike's story ends, but we kinda need to branch out, and I wanna make sure people know that this isn't just a Fire Emblem or Nintendo channel, so we need to branch out and play other games, so after this, I think you'll be my last Fire Emblem game. Oh, we could play some of the Devil May Cry series. I already played 4 Special Edition as Virgil, but there are some I wish I could forget, but for the most part, they're fantastic. Or we could play some of the SMT series. I have so many of those old games, but they take a while to finish. Oh, that's right, Persona 5's right around the corner. That might be nearly impossible to play. Oh, and it's kind of pissing me off. I can't find my copy of Nocturne or DDS. Alright, what else do we have here? I know we have something. What is that? Guys, I already told you. We played our last Fire Emblem game. It's going to be Radiant Dawn, and you know I have a weird love-hate relationship with Awakening, so no. Oh, maybe I should get caught up with Kingdom Hearts. This game's like my childhood. I couldn't leave this behind. And with 2.5 coming out, and 3 being existent? I think I should maybe get back into it, but the only game I haven't played yet is Dream Drop Distance, so maybe I should get on that. Guys, no! I don't want to get stuck playing just Fire Emblem games, and it gets old after a while. I don't even have a 3DS capture card, there's no way I could play it. So just give it up, please. So now what else could I—
The glorious past will be reborn as Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. This game is inspired by the second installment in the series.
I swear, this is just a big misunderstanding. It shouldn't look like this. My full-scale Niles figure should be right there. Hey guys, right in here, and let's talk about the Fire Emblem Direct event. Oh boy, this is gonna be a lot to talk about. I don't normally do news stuff like this, and I didn't think I was gonna care that much until I saw what actually popped up. So, what we got was 3 games at the Direct. 2 one we knew about, one that was already announced and we knew about, another one that was in the works and is now announced, and one that was just completely out of nowhere. So I'm not going to get into the 2 that are not going to appear on the channel, but I want to talk about them a bit. So my least excited thing on this list, or the least exciting thing to me on this list, was Fire Emblem Warriors, and you're going, what? You're preferring a mobile game over Warriors? What? And I know, I'm insane, I'm probably the only one who thinks like this. But my problem is, I love the idea of this, and I'm glad it exists, and I know a lot of people enjoy it. My thing is I don't like Warriors games, or Musou games as they're called, at all. I was excited for Berserk Musou, which comes out like next month, and I'm still gonna play that, but for the most part, they just don't feel fulfilling to me. To me, they're never worth the price. You get to play as a character for a little bit, and it's just the same almost every time. It is a style of gameplay I don't favor. So that's all there is to it. They just happened to adapt Fire Emblem to a series I didn't like. I would have preferred a Dissidia style thing like Final Fantasy has done, but I know that's kind of hard since we already have Smash, and it's like, you want a Fire Emblem fighting game? Just play Smash, but I happen to not like that either, so I'll just keep waiting till maybe I'm 80 years old and I'll get like Fire Emblem Cross Tekken or something. Oh boy, that'd be a wreck. Anyways, after that we had the mobile game, Fire Emblem Heroes. So, I don't really know what to make of this. I think it sounds really cool. I know I'm comparing this to Final Fantasy a lot, but that's because that's like the other equivalent of this. But I play Final Fantasy Brave Exvius on my phone a lot. That game is pretty good for a mobile game, and I don't really like mobile games that much. So, what I see here is something that might be of similar value, and you can collect all your dudes, and it sounds cool. That's all I have to say about it. I doubt it's going to be anything super Fire Emblem-y. I'm glad they're keeping the aesthetic the same. I just want to see everybody's favorite characters in there, which I know they're probably going to be eventually. It just takes a while to add them. Let's talk about Fire Emblem Echoes. So what this apparently is it's a game being made for the 3DS, or it's already made, and it's coming out in fall, I believe. It was a game made for the 3DS, a Fire Emblem game, and it's supposed to be inspired by Fire Emblem Gaiden. Now, as I've said many times before, I have only played Fire Emblem 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, and 14, so I guess to a lot of people, I'm just kind of like a scrub, and it's like, oh, you haven't played the real Fire Emblem games, as I say in the Grail voice for whatever reason. Yeah, you haven't played all of them like I have. I just sat around doing it all day. The main thing and the main reason I was gonna stop playing Fire Emblem at this point is because, A, I don't know, I don't feel like going back to the older games. I honestly don't, and I know a lot of you guys love those games so much, but I just don't. Well, I love 6, 7, and 8, but I just don't want to go through them again. I love fresh experiences. And the games before that, graphically, well, they were just a bit too much for me. Some of my favorite games are on the PS1 era, and I even love Chrono Trigger so much, but just some of those older graphics I can't stand, especially since one of the only things that keep me in Fire Emblem is the attack animations, and, well, they're pretty dull. But since we are getting a new entry which is inspired by Gaiden, meaning that they could fix some of the writing, I don't know if the writing's bad or anything, but, like, wow, I'm bringing up Final Fantasy again. But like Final Fantasy Tactics versus Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, the writing is drastically different, and it's much improved. So I'd like to see them just completely redo the writing in that game, because I have a feeling they could do a much better job if they just redid the writing but kept the same plot. That would be pretty damn good. I can't say because I haven't played the game myself, but I feel like a game of that era could use some touching up. Anyways, back to the main point. Normally, I would never have touched another Fire Emblem game on the channel, mainly because of capture cards. And for those who don't know what capture cards are, they allow you to record footage. And I have availability to record footage off of every single console except for one. And that happens to be the one that all the new Fire Emblem games are on, and all the new Ace Attorney games are on, and that's the 3DS. So I had no reason to do that because I didn't think there was that many games I would play if I received such capture card. But now that I'm seeing this being announced, I want to play it. I want to play it so badly. And I want to play it on the channel now. I don't want to just sit here and play it by myself for no reason. And the problem with that is, I'm going to go A and B again. The problem with that is, A, I can't afford a capture card. It's really expensive. On top of having to buy your own 3DS, you have to pay fees for shipping and them fixing it themselves to make sure it can capture footage. And then they send it back, and it's a lot of money. And a couple of you guys have been like, well, why don't you just open up for donations? I'll do it. I'll make sure you have enough money. And the problem with that is I honestly don't feel like I've done enough to deserve that or warrant that in any way. I've only been making like real content that people have been enjoying for 4 months. Even at that, sometimes I wind up skipping days because of life or medical reasons or things like that. And I just try to get out as fast as I can. And I just don't feel like I've done enough to warrant people giving me money, even if it is going to go back and we'll be able to play a bunch of different Fire Emblem games, and even cooler, I'm not going to say even cooler because that sounds like I prefer one thing over another, but that would allow me to play also some of the mainline Ace Attorney games for you guys. I think there's 3 now on the 3DS, and I haven't touched a single one, along with probably some other games on the system, so we'll see about that later. But for now, I'm not sure how I feel about like the whole donation or fundraising thing or whatever, because I don't know, it bothers me taking money from people for something. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I could never be a successful Twitch streamer because like they survive off of donations and I could never do that. I'm just going on a tangent here now. But anyways, that's basically all I have to say. As far as the game goes, it looks great so far. So many things in Gaiden are different. Like, every single time I say I wish something was in Fire Emblem, people say go play Gaiden. But now, seeing it come forward, there's things like dungeon crawling. What? I don't even know how that's supposed to work, but it looked awesome in the game. Which means I feel like you'd be fighting monsters in that one also, not just people. But, I don't know about that for sure. There's also flexible character progression, from which what I understand is, for example, you could take a villager and level it into anything. Like, apparently, any base class can go into anything else from what I understand. I could be very wrong, but whatever it means, I'm excited. I'm honestly excited because I have no idea what's gonna come. And I think that's the best thing about a game releasing, is that it has so many new features, and it may not be new to a lot of people, but to me, this is all going to be brand new, and that's why I'm actually excited for it. So thank you for watching. Just let me remind you that this is an LP channel for all games and not just Fire Emblem news, so if you do decide to check us out, please watch the channel trailer. We took a lot of time putting it together. Thank you, and if you like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to become a member of the Dust Brigade, please subscribe. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Red and out.